Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. A couple of fun things. First of all, we've got Tuesdays with Charlie coming up later. That's always a blast.
Fun.
Yeah, we call it, for those of you who have not heard that before, we talk to my wife's dad, so Heidi's dad, every Tuesday for a fun little thing called Tuesdays with Charlie.
He's the greatest guy on the planet. He just really is.
What about me? Where am I?
You're close second.
Yeah, third or fourth maybe. Hey, an annual survey by HR company Mercer, I'm not sure how I say it, they reveal that Baghdad is the worst place on earth to live.
Wow.
The mayor of Detroit has this comment. Ha! So, there you go. I think they're a close second as well.
I think so as well.
I'm just kidding. I've got friends from Detroit. It's not that bad.
You do?
I do, yeah.
Who do you know from Detroit?
Dave. He's from Detroit.
I noticed he's not there anymore.
Well, no, he doesn't live there. Well, he's not in Baghdad either, so there. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, August the 23rd. Today is Valentino Day. Not Valentine's Day, Valentino Day. It is also National Sponge Cake Day.
I like sponge cake.
I know you do. We should
I like
have
any
some of
kind
that.
of cake, really.
You know, funny thing is,
I can't think of a kind of cake I don't like.
leftover cake. I notice we never eat it. We'll have cake, and the next day, you might as well just throw it away because I'll throw it away 5 days later.
Okay, so let me correct that. I don't like the store-bought sheet cake things. I like German chocolate cake, and, I like chocolate cake, but I don't like those gross ones with the gross frosting.
That's nice, Heidi. It is National Sponge Cake Day. Hey, it's also Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its abolition day today. So, can we go back to talking about cakes now?
No, I want some cake.
I like this kind of cake, and I like that kind of cake. I like chocolate cake. I like white cake. It's all good cake. It's a good day because today is National Sponge Cake Day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time, too. You decide when the messages are sent, and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. He calls himself an artist, but Michael Fernandez exhibit at the Halifax, Nova Scotia had some people scratching their heads. It's supposed to be some big artistic statement, but it's nothing more than a banana perched on the gallery's windowsill. Nevertheless, Michael's original price tag was $15,000. He later dropped the price to $2,500. Then Michael actually changed bananas every day, eating the old ones, and placed the progressively greener ones out to demonstrate the banana's transitoriness, whatever that means. But the kicker is he actually had 2 different collectors place holds on his work.
What?
Requiring the gallery's co-owner, Victoria Page, to call them and make sure they knew what they were getting. She told them, you understand.
You're going to have to buy your own bananas.
It's a banana. You understand that, right? $2,500.
I mean, if they did buy it, they'd have to buy their own bananas to replace it in their own windowsill because
Apparently.
that's the most ridiculous thing
2
I
different
have ever
collectors.
heard of my
So there are
life.
people out there with more dollars than cents.
Oh
if they're
my
a collector is thinking, you know where that would look awesome? In my kitchen.
So then go to the grocery store. They're like 18 cents a pound on some days. So
that
just
would
go.
look fabulous on my dining room
That is
table.
ridiculous.
Maybe with a side of cereal.
Oh.
What is a banana's transitoriness? I've never heard of that. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, it's in the story. I think they made that up. Also in the story, I just want to point out where it says they wanted to make sure that they knew what they were getting. New was spelled N-E-W. That's not the right way to spell new. At least not in that sense.
No.
So grammatically, this story was wrong as well.
Did you make up that word
I
as
think
well?
so.
You're just making up all kinds of words
I didn't make up
today.
the other one they did. It was in their story. I think it was written by a 12-year-old. probably the same guy that's putting the bananas on display. Anyway, he wanted 15 grand, dropped the price to 2,500, had two different collectors that were interested. By the way, for those collectors, I have an awesome art display. It's called Bowl of Fruit, only $25,000. You have to give me a call. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. A British woman's bulging wig didn't fool customs agents in Norway. They realized that she's not having a bad hair day. She was concealing some cocaine.
Yeah.
I think we read this, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah.
I think so, too. This sounds vaguely familiar. Anyway, a couple pounds of cocaine glued to her head. They had to detain her on suspicion of cocaine smuggling. A bag of cocaine was glued so firmly to her real hair, they had to take her to a hospital to have it removed. Ouch. That would really hurt, wouldn't it? Can you imagine
Just
that?
shave her head.
Court ordered the woman to be held for a formal indictment and trial. Again, she had drugs glued to her head, so this really was her brain on drugs.
Wow.
No, it was drugs on her brain. Yeah, something like that. You know, if I would have, considering I think I've read this before, I should have had that punchline ready, shouldn't I? I didn't, though. I have a moment of duh coming your way. Not mine, I mean a different one. That's on the way in a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
A North Philadelphia 14-year-old found a bullet on the street and wanted to see what would happen if he held it over an open flame on the stove.
Oh, man.
You may be wondering what the odds are that the one person in the world who wouldn't know what would happen if you put a bullet over an open fire would find one. It happened. Guess what happened, Heidi?
Oh, he got shot.
The bullet exploded, hitting the boy in the chest and the face. Luckily, the injuries were not as serious as they could have been. He was treated and released.
What an idiot.
Yeah, you don't do that. That happened in North Philadelphia. He was 14. He still is 14. It didn't kill him.
14.
14, and you think that you would have known. Okay, you don't put an explosive, which is a bullet, over a fire, which is something that's going to help it explode. Don't do that. Kids, if you didn't know that, now you know that. So let's not do that. And if you ever find something, whether it's a bullet or some sort of weapon of any kind, don't play with it. Give it to your parents. And if you don't have parents, give it to another adult. I just can't even imagine who would think this was a good idea. All right, moving on. We have your scoop of the day. That is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. For the first time, astronomers say they found a planet outside our solar system that could potentially sustain life. Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Haven't they been saying that forever?
No, this is the first ever, they said. For the first time ever. The new discovery has Earth-like temperatures and might even have water. Now, in galactic terms, it's relatively close. It's a mere 100 trillion miles away. I mean, we could go there over the weekend, right? It's orbiting a red dwarf star. Astronomers on the European team found the planet, and they call it a, quote, nicely discovered planet, end quote. But then they say, but we still have lots of questions. So who are you going to ask those to? You have long distance?
How do they find it? There's no way they have telescopes that are going that far.
Apparently.
So how are they finding this
Well,
stuff?
we have the Hubble telescope, and they've got like satellites now that are shooting out into outer space. So I don't know. Could have probably looked out the window. Like, what is
As far
that?
as I'm concerned,
did you see that planet?
it's none of our business.
I had a guest one time that was talking about how we don't even know all the species on our planet. So what are we looking out there for? And he was saying, if we would find life, how would we communicate with them? Because we can't communicate with life here. So this guy was like,
one
what
of
are we
those
even doing?
earpieces that we talked about the other day would work. You give it to the alien and they put it in and it'll translate.
Speak their language? I doubt it. Google Translate. How do I do this? Welcome to Earth. Go ahead. Say that. Hey, it took a team effort for firefighters to rescue Mabel from a dry well in Perryman, Maryland. Relentless humidity, temperatures dangerously wavering below 100 degrees. A team of firefighters worked to get Mabel out of the 30-foot deep well. They rescued her by rappelling down and lifting her out with a pulley system. Oh, by the way, did I mention that Mabel is a dog? A St. Bernard. The St. Bernard was thirsty, but otherwise unharmed from the ordeal. So welcome back to the top, Maple. A Swedish church plans to use drones to drop tiny electronic Bibles in areas of Iraq.
We talked about this.
Did we talk about that too?
We did.
I must have gone
awesome.
to the same website for some info today. Hey, the Olympics are done.
Okay.
So this is from last week too, I'm sure. But the Olympic athletes who bring home medals, we didn't talk about this. They also bring home cash. Did you know that?
No.
For every gold medal you get. So this is like if you go to school and get good grades, mom and dad pay you. Our government does the same thing, apparently. Our Olympic committee. For every gold that you get $25,000.
Wow.
That's pretty good. For every silver, you get $15,000. And for every bronze, guess how much you get?
Swift kick in the butt.
No,
and a package of
10,000.
beef jerky.
10,000. I'd take the beef jerky. $10,000 paid for by the United States Olympic Committee. And like any prize winner, the athletes are taxed because the Olympic medals and cash bonuses are considered income. So they win that kind of
What
dough.
is the value of the medal?
I don't know.
How much are they charged for getting the
I don't
medal?
think it's actually solid gold. I believe it's actually milk chocolate with a gold wrapper on it.
No, it's not, because I've seen them bite it.
Have you really?
Yeah. All the
I was-
pictures of
I was
Olympians are
teasing.
biting it.
I knew that it wasn't really made of chocolate.
I
But
think they were hoping. That's why they bite it, and they're like, oh.
this one got chocolate in it? Dang it.
Does yours have chocolate?
No, mine's real too. We'll just steer clear of all the stuff that happened last week with the people supposedly lying, and I'm going to just move on until they figure out exactly what's going on. Living to a very old age, though, may be in the genes. According to a new study published in the Journal of Aging, they suggest certain personality traits make up a major part of the longevity genes. Researchers found that having a positive attitude and a good sense of humor play a role in living longer and healthier. So we're going to be around forever.
I don't think that's true. Most of the super old people that I know are
Crotchety.
really crabby.
What do you want? Get off of my lawn. And our final story, a 19-year-old on Staten Island sampled his donut while he was in line at a 7-Eleven, and it was stale, so he said, I'm not going to pay for this. And they said, you already took a bite. You're paying for it. And he said, I'm not paying for it. And he was arrested.
Good.
What are the odds?
Stand there and eat crap in the line and then say, I don't want this. Rightfully so. You're buying donuts at a gas station. What'd you think it was going to be? My God.
And there went all of our gas station sponsors.
I was sticking up for them. He
okay.
picked it up. He took a bite. He has to pay it.
We'll call that sticking up for them. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want, see how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice too at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
How many of the 7 dwarfs wear glasses?
Only one.
What's his name?
Doc.
Holy cow, you got it right. Wow, that's good. You're right. Doc is the only dwarf that wears glasses. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In 1998, AOL, that's America Online, they acquired the rights to ICQ, the first widespread instant messaging service.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, well, they were the first ones to do instant messaging. That was back in 1998.
Huh.
All right, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the original book series, Sherlock Holmes was addicted to cocaine.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
So, explains why he was solving crimes. He couldn't get to sleep. He was
Right.
awake
He's
all
up
night.
all night. Had
And
to
our
do
final
something.
fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The British candy company Cadbury was the first to offer Valentine's Day chocolate box.
Really?
Yeah, I know them for the eggs, though, and the little rabbit that chirps like a bird
I
or whatever.
love those Cadbury
what is
eggs.
it? Doesn't the rabbit make like bird noises? No, I don't remember. I'm confused. As I get closer to Easter, I'm sure I'll see it 1,000 times. So anyway, a couple of fun facts for you, and I'm sure I'll get a call to let me know what that bunny does. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to radiolottopool.com and join today. Again, that website is radiolottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. It's time right now for one of my favorite things we do every week. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law just because we can for a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
You sure it's Tuesday?
It is. I double-checked. I quadruple-checked. I don't want to call you any more than I have to, you know.
Well, I know that.
So what kind of cool stuff are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
You like helicopters.
I do.
Do you know what the bolt holding the rotor blades onto a helicopter is called?
It's called the Helibolt.
No. Oh, you're close. Jesus nut.
Is it really?
Yep.
The Jesus nut?
How was that close?
How's that close to the
He
Helibolt?
wasn't even close.
I was like 180 degrees off.
If that bolt breaks, the helicopter crashes.
So that's how you were close.
All right.
Okay, residents of the village of Shitterton in England grew tired of people stealing a sign with the village's name on it.
Yeah.
Replaced it with a 1.5-ton block of stone with the village name inscribed on it.
Oh,
Nobody stole that one?
No.
All right.
I think someone would notice you if you were trying to get away with that one because you'd need a giant truck and a crane.
Beep, beep,
It's not like you
beep.
can do that in the middle of the night without raising any suspicions.
Could chisel it away, maybe. I don't know.
You know what a dolphin is?
Yeah, I've heard of those before.
Okay, dolphins talk to each other. If they talk to each other over the phone, they will recognize who they are talking to.
How on earth would they know that?
Who's doing this kind of study? They must have
How
a.
would they know?
Must
that
have a
they
water-
know which dolphin they're talking to.
It's Flipper. No, it's Zipper.
When I'm talking to you on the phone, you know who I am.
Well, yeah, but the dolphin's not like the dolphin can say, "Oh yeah, I know who that is."
That's it. Oh, it's you. What are you doing?
He shakes his head. Yes. Yep. If you know who that is, I'll give you a fish.
This is ridiculous. I'm sure that was a government-funded study too.
Name that dolphin.
That's old Bluey. Give me that fish.
Did you know that asbestos was commonly used for fake snow in the early Hollywood films?
Oh, yeah. I did know that.
Jeez.
So they didn't know it was bad back then, though. They kind of found that out later.
So It's a Wonderful Life wasn't quite so wonderful after all.
It's a not so wonderful life.
Here comes the snow. Let's get out of here. Hey, then this is just if you care. Back
Okay.
in the 70s, McDonald's gave out free razors during breakfast hours back in the 70s.
Really?
Why?
You go get breakfast, you get a free razor.
You can shave on your way to work.
Really?
Really?
Like in the kids' meals? Or?
No, with the breakfast meals, you said.
Huh, that's kind of crazy. I did not know that.
Well, see, that's why you listen to my show.
I do. So.
Got a question for me?
Oh, yeah. It's,
You're
it's
done?
my turn.
We
That'd be
thought
nice.
I had no clue. I thought you had more stuff. No, I got questions for you. On average, how many earthquakes are there in the world each year?
1,250.
No, it's more than that. 50,000 or more.
50,000?
Yeah, 50,000 earthquakes. Some of them are better than others, I'm assuming.
Well, I should hope to shout.
I got another one here that you'll like, Charlie.
Okay.
What is the average bra size for an American woman? I think you might have told us this one.
34D.
Oh, you're real close. 34B.
Well,
That's
BD,
not
what
even
the hell's the difference?
There's a big difference. You guys are men. You have no clue what you're talking about.
Is it this
It's like
much?
the difference between a plum and a grapefruit.
Is there a difference?
It's a big difference.
It'd be like golfing with a soccer ball. It's all the same.
I think that rates as a win.
I do too. You want one other useless piece of knowledge here that everybody should know?
Sure.
This isn't a question. This is just, it was going to be one of my fun facts coming up, but I'll give it to you now because I'd love to have you know this. Fun fact for you, Charlie. Tiger urine smells like buttered popcorn.
Really?
Yeah. Tiger urine smells like buttered popcorn.
And it's yellow, so if somebody poured it on your popcorn, you'd have no idea.
I don't know why that is. But
That's disgusting.
there you go. Now you know.
And you think I come up with stupid stuff.
Hey, I'm just saying, I was going to share that later in the program, but now I gave it to you instead.
That's probably the one thing I'll remember off today's thing.
Me too. Good stuff to know.
Never eat buttered popcorn again.
People on safaris probably get the uncontrollable urge to munch. I smell
I smell popcorn.
We're going to go over some popcorn right now. Can't wait till I get off work. All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week, Charlie. Have a good day.
I'll be here.
Bye,
All right.
Dad.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time, too. You decide when messages are sent, and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. It is the 23rd day of August, and there's a lot of kiddos that have already started school, some that started last week, some that started yesterday, some that start in the next few weeks. But either way, back to school is on the minds of moms and dads all over this great land, and high gas and food will crunch the back-to-school spending this year. They're saying that the high gas costs and food costs are making a big impact. This is a survey from Deloitte. Due to economic concerns, 71% of Americans plan to spend less on back-to-school items this year. In addition, a whopping 90% will change the way they shop for back-to-school. Changes include 79%. Hey, how you doing over there? 79% will buy more back-to-school items when they're on sale.
Well, yeah.
70% will buy only what the family needs.
Yep.
68% will buy more lower-priced items. 53% will use more coupons. 46% will shop at different, less expensive stores than usual. 45% put off buying certain items until they absolutely need them. Like, Mom, it's been gym class now for a week and I still don't have my shoes. So they put things off. 27% will research more products online to find the best price. And the biggest number of all is 83% said they will spend less on clothing.
Yep.
48% will spend less on shoes, 30% less on backpacks and book bags, almost a third, 29%, will spend less on supplies. So there you go. Our daughter was getting ready for back to school. Did you guys went in to buy stuff? Did you end up getting anything? Because when you came out, I didn't see you carrying any bags.
Taylor had 2 bags.
Did she?
We had to get a couple of binders and
see, well, I
undergarments.
I thought that you guys, because my wife and my daughter have this uncanny ability to go shopping for 4 hours and not get anything.
I don't have to buy something to enjoy shopping. I just love to go shopping.
And I don't. So I was waiting in the car, and the whole time I was waiting in the car, I was like, they better at least bring something else.
I shop with my mom, and she gets frustrated with me, too, because I'll spend forever. She's, like, ready to go. She's done in the store. I'm like, oh, I'm not done. And I'll spend another hour in the store, and she's like, are you ready? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm ready. And they're just like, you're not even going to buy anything. And I'll find something that I think I want, and I'll carry it around with me. And about an hour and a half later, I'll be like, yeah, I don't want
need
that.
this.
And I'll put it down.
I'm not complaining, just so you know. I'm not complaining. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're in business, you need a website. Come on, it's 2016. Do you think this internet thing is not going to catch on? Many business owners that don't have a website think it's just too expensive. Well, now it's not. You can get a website for a few $100s, not thousands of dollars that are charged elsewhere. We can help you set up and design the site and then turn you loose to manage it, or we can help you manage the site for just a tiny bit more. Learn about this special radio offer right now at radiosavings.com. Get an extra $50 off if you sign up this month at radiosavings.com.
Got a flaming story here from North Dakota. Firefighters were called to an apartment in Fargo when there was a report of smoke and noxious, terrible odors coming from a window. Turns out there was no fire. There was no chemical leak. The owner of the apartment burnt his hair. The man said once a year he takes all the hair that he has saved from his haircuts and burns it in a skillet. What?
Ew.
Who does that?
Gross.
This dude in
Some
Fargo,
voodoo-
North Carolina? I don't
voodoo
know.
Doctor or something?
Once a year he does it. It's some sort of ritual, apparently, that keeps his
Alrighty.
keeps his apartment complex free of any females.
Burnt hair reeks.
It's terrible. I guarantee you that doesn't help bring in dates, young man. Whatever
Wow.
you're trying to do with that, it's a bad plan. He burns it, and of all places, in a skillet.
Yeah, that's
So
disgusting.
he fries his hair in a skillet? That is, I hope he doesn't use that skillet for other things. That's just
Angel
gross.
hair pasta.
Not so angel hair pasta. All right. Coming up, we got a preacher that thinks he can walk on water. You think so? We'll tell you all about it in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I remember when I was growing up, there was a song that said, "If I could walk on water." Remember that?
Yeah.
Was that Eddie Money?
Eddie Money.
If I could walk on water,
Yeah.
would you believe in me?
Yeah.
And I never really understood what he was trying to say with that. I understand that in the Bible, Jesus walked on water, but was he trying to claim that he was Jesus?
No, he wasn't.
I just
trying-
never really made a ton of sense to me.
He was saying that she doesn't believe in him, and what would it take for him to have for her to have to believe in him?
Well, if you head to Libreville, Gabon, Africa, preacher and evangelist Frank Cabley announced to his congregation, "I had a revelation that if I have enough faith, I can walk on water like Jesus did." So he said, "Let's go to the beach." So he said, "Come on down here." They go to the Como estuary. It's about 20 minutes to cross this by boat. And he said, "Everybody watch, I'm going to walk across the estuary." They had to pull him out.
I'm
when
guessing this didn't go well.
They had to pull him out when the water went over his head. So,
Hey, he kept going.
you know what? That's
There's
the good news.
something to
Like,
say for that.
I have faith
He's not a
that I can
quitter.
do this. Here's the thing. I have faith, and I
I
believe
bet he was embarrassed.
I bet so. I believe that Jesus did that while he was here, but Pastor Cable, I believe you're not Jesus. So there you go. It doesn't say anywhere in there that, hey, if you have enough faith, you can do this too.
No.
If it did, I think there'd be a lot of people going, I'm going to just go practice my faith every day and see if I can walk across this
Wow.
water. So there you go. Good try, I guess. Coming up, we're going to talk about the most spammed states. We'll see if we're on the list. Thanks for listening.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want, see how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice too at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Do you get a lot of spam, Heidi?
No.
I get
really
a ton
don't.
of spam.
I have one email account that I use just for spam, and I don't think I've been in there for
You sign up for
5
spam?
years.
Please send spam
Well,
to.
anytime you sign up for anything, you're going to start getting spam
Oh, yeah.
from a whole bunch of different
Oh.
places. So if I have to sign up for something, I use that email address because I know I'm never ever going to look in
Well,
there.
and I have my email address posted on a couple of places, so it's out there, it's public, so people can find it, which is fine. I don't mind getting real emails from real people, but I get a ton of junk mail, which is referred to as spam. So if you're wondering what spam is, and maybe if you don't have email, that's when you get unsolicited email, things that you don't need. And there's a reason they call it spam. We'll go into that some other day. But a different topic now. A study by web security company Message Labs decided to find out where does the most spam go. And they've got the top 10 states on the list. We'll get to those in a second. The study analyzed spam traffic on a state-by-state basis. 92.1% of all emails addressed to people in this particular state were spam. 92.1%.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, for Illinois, the most spammed state. The least spammed state, by the way, was Montana at just 77% of overall email. So everybody falls between 77% and 92.1%.
Huh.
So the global rates of spam were up to 81.5%. The U.S. as a whole is a little higher than that at 86%. So let's talk about the top 10 most spam states. We already talked about number 1 on the list, and I guess number 50 was Montana. We're going to just do the top 10. Alabama, Pennsylvania, Texas, Indiana, North Carolina, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Oregon, that is number 3. Number 2, my home state of South Dakota. And the number 1 state, once again, Illinois. So if you're not on the list, don't feel bad because you still get plenty of spam. That is kind of crazy, really, when you think about that. The number of emails, 92.1% of the emails that go to Illinois are spam. Yikes. Glad I don't live in Illinois. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news. Do you think this is good news, Heidi?
I sure hope so,
I
because you're
hope so,
telling
too.
everybody. it
Yeah,
is.
I know. I haven't read it to Heidi yet, so she doesn't know. But this may be our final story from the Olympics, considering they're done now.
That is good news.
That is good news. Everything about
Very
Yrsa
good news.
Mardini's route to the Rio Games has been unlikely. According to the New York Times, this 18-year-old Christian will compete on the first refugee team at an Olympics ever. She prepared for the Games by swimming at a pool in Germany that was built by the Nazis for the 1936 Olympics. Less than a year ago, she was neck deep in the Mediterranean Sea swimming for her life. Listen to this. Last August, Mardini and her sister Sarah fled war-torn Syria and embarked on a harrowing, long-month journey to Germany. When their crammed dinghy broke down between Turkey and Greece, she and her sister, who's also a swimmer, jumped into the water and helped guide the boat to safety. So these girls, practicing for the Olympics, she pulled a dinghy full of people to safety. That is absolutely crazy. I guarantee you, most of the people that were at the Olympics that were in that pool swimming, they weren't doing that kind of stuff.
No, I'm sure they weren't.
They were in some, cushy pool somewhere, swimming back and forth. They had it made. Meanwhile, this young lady is literally swimming a dinghy full of people home to safety. That is absolutely amazing. So now, I wish I could tell you how she did, but I didn't pay attention to the Olympics. So hopefully she won something. She's an 18-year-old. Again, Yrsa Mardini, Yusra Mardini, Mardini. So I'm going to have to Google that now and see how she did, because I just want to know, don't you?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
all right. I promised Heidi I would quit talking about the Olympics, so we're done with that.
We're done?
All done. That is good news, isn't
Sweet.
it?
That is very good
All
news.
right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. There were a lot of really neat stories from the Olympics out
I
there
thought
this
you just
year.
said you were going to quit talking about the
I
Olympics.
know, but I was just saying, the reason that I kept bringing it up is because there were a lot of neat stories about it. So,
It's time to say goodbye, John.
all right. Goodbye, John. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.